Hi and good evening, everyone. My name is Albert, and sometimes I do disappoint myself with some of the remarks that I leave as notes, thinking that I'm actually going to remember any of the subject matter, but then thinking to myself that about 15 minutes ago I wasn't really concerned about that, and firmly believed in my own ability to just make it up as I go along. So I do appreciate you guys taking the time out of your night to join me. I really do. It's very nice to know that two people are a part of the channel every single night. So hey guys, it's nice to meet you, At some point we'll have, larger crowds of people, you feel me? But a guy can only do so much, and honestly, videos that are old tend to get more views than the videos I post. So it's always just a catch it and like a catch up kind of a thing, you feel me? Like there's every potentiality that a handful of people may not see this video until December, and it's November. I'm pretty sure that the month of November just started. So regardless, I hope that y'all are well, and I hope that if you're talking to me after Donald Trump has become elected president, then you're also just hoping that the next 4 years are gonna go with the least amount of drama possible, right? But we all know that's not going to happen. Mass deportation, this whole Heritage Foundation funded, really sus Project 2025. These guys are, holy potatoes, holy macaroni. You're going through a lot of trouble to make sure. And it was pointed out too that I think the biggest thing I think we all need to remember here, and then I'm done talking about it, is that Donald Trump has a major vested interest in becoming president, because if he doesn't, there is actually a good likelihood that we will, as a country, in fact, be put in a situation where we might actually have to incarcerate a former president. And honestly, I think that from a PR perspective, Uncle Sam's not willing to go down that path. And honestly, I can't blame Uncle Sam and Anthony for not wanting to save face as it concerns the public relations, in that, we need to save face in a world that is arguably dominated by us, and a way to quickly lose any kind of trust within the global community is to have one of your old commanders in chief locked up. So like, honestly, conspiracies aside and stuff, like if this dude didn't get elected, it might actually be a big problem for this country again. And I say that because, incarcerating a former commander in chief, that would be political, unaliving for all parties involved, and for all sort of trust in any kind of stability as it concerns the governance of this country. And that's something that I'm sure a lot of people that have more time and make money and have lives think about, you feel me? But then, like, I'm just sort of passively thinking about it, and I just want it to be on the record that, again, historically speaking, from a kind of modern perspective, and understanding that the value of incarcerating a former commander in chief far underperforms the value of just re-electing the guy, and then dealing with, as a country, a president elect who is being tried and perhaps would be convicted if the Supreme Court hadn't ironically and conveniently made it a law that, in fact, the president can excuse himself and is, in fact, not able to be charged in certain instances of the law in the act of acting as president and all of those. So, I mean, I'm just saying that, like, there's conspiracy, and then there's, just like reality. And I feel like, instead of like leading people or misleading them into thinking something is what it isn't, we should just like be honest. You feel me? And again, the only reason Donald Trump's going to get elected on Tuesday is because if he doesn't, this country will face far more of a crises than if the man is elected. And that's saying something, right? Seriously. Again, America sells its soul too every single time one of these things happen, at the cost of the good old USD, run by a monetary fund and controlled by people that are convinced that we're all stupid, and that like price gouging and exploitation is somehow akin to reasonable inflation and the cost of goods. You feel me? I mean, it's like, I don't know. I hope that you guys are doing good. We're done talking about that. What I want to talk about is the wonderful world, the fascinating world of miniatures. And earlier I'd opened the video, right? Because on my notes here, all I have is literally the fascinating world of miniatures. So I'm really, so I'm thinking to myself, okay, what? So recently, my roommate, and I say this all the time, right? We live in apartments, and often this is like a hack in life. If you've ever lived in an apartment, you feel me? If you've ever been a normal person, and if you've ever lived in an apartment, then you know that sometimes when people move out, they leave things outside, and it could be at like a shared community room, it could be near the recycling bin, it could be near the garbage can, you feel me, like on the outside of it. I mean, who do you think this is? There's working class folks around here. Yeah, we get stuff that's left near the garbage that's not in the garbage. I've been known to sometimes get things from the garbage. I mean, whatever, you feel me? I mean, it's all good. You clean things, there's warm water, there's soap. There's also, not like getting too into the dumpster, or I mean, you have to think about what you bring upstairs. And trust me, I guess you'd only know this because you learned what not to bring upstairs because you've not done your due diligence and end up bringing 17 of like the random neighbors cockroaches on over with their dish soap mat that you bought, that you brought in, you feel me, because you needed to dry your dishes. So I'm just saying that, like, things happen. And then my roommate recently found like a dollhouse and a bunch of dollhouse furniture. And it's cool because I have an eBay store, and doll furniture and doll houses and all that stuff sells really well. And it's interesting because I like miniatures, and I think as like obviously as a boy, you feel me, right? Like I when I was a kid, I mean, and I identify as straight. Not like any of this matters, but I say this again because I was raised by angry boomers and Xer people who were like made it. Listen, when I was a kid, like this conversation came up, and what's ironic is that like I have a brother who's gay, and the thing is like when he was a kid growing up and stuff, it was a thing. It was a thing then. It's still a thing now. Like the dude liked to play with dolls. You feel me? Like I have a younger sister. Like in terms of, and I love my brother. And I'm saying that like as a straight dude or whatever. Like I never thought there was a problem playing with Barbies. You feel me? Like as like a little boy, more than like I thought it was weird. Like I just always thought girls were weird. When I was a boy, I still think they're weird. Like I'm a true like in and in good old boy, like just super naive, dumb, gullible, straight man. That's all that I am. I'm still worried about cooties. You feel me? Like this is after almost nearly 40 years of life. Like women are weird, and I'm sure that they make books. Women make books about men. They're called like Men Are From Mars. I think maybe we are. I don't know. I'm just saying that. Yeah, I think you guys are weird too, because I don't understand you. I never will. You feel me? Like, and that's kind of like a cool thing. But like, I'm saying that because I I would play with like GI Joe action figures and stuff. You feel me? And then like while I didn't think anything was wrong with it, I just never had an interest in having like a weird quote unquote. Like, I mean, what am I supposed to do with the Barbie and my GI Joes? You feel me? Like, I don't know. Like, they don't even make clothes for her. Like, can you get her like a little pew pew? Like, I told it just does Barbie have camo gear? Is there like a special operation Desert Storm military version of Barbie that I didn't know about? Anyways, like miniatures, right? And then like the doll houses and stuff. That's why we're talking about that. But I really I think miniatures are dope, and I think that the dude version of all the like little girl version stuff that we mentioned is obviously like your Hot Wheels, right? Obviously, like your model airplanes and your electric helicopters and stuff, and those electric boats, right? I mean, I had a buddy who's now a commentator on ESPN, and Alex was a competitive speedboat, a little operator. So this guy would, like, go to fancy ponds and stuff, and there'd be all a bunch of fancy people, and they'd, put their fancy boats in the water, and they'd race them from their, like, RC boats. You feel me? And Alex was really good. Alex was really good. Alex is really good at a lot of things. Shout out. What's up, Alex? It's good to see you, my dog. Anyways, yeah, at least the last time I saw your mom and chilled in your room at your house, you were somewhere else, and I love Mac. You feel me? That I love that woman. She's always been really nice to me. But it was actually the last night that I was a canvasser for the for PETA, for the Public Interest and Research Group. So PIRG, that was PIRG, Public Interest Research Group. I was canvassing for them maybe like 8 years ago, right? And I stumbled upon my buddy Alex's house, and I was like, "Yo, is Alex here?" And Mac was like, "Nope, but you could chill." So we watched a college basketball game, right? It was like the NIT. We watched some NIT finals, and she made me dinner. Again, I really appreciate it. He's still a really good friend of mine, and truly a commentator on ESPN. So, hey, you've gotten a lot farther than me, dude. I still haven't made it out of Albuquerque, and really, I'm only probably about 8 miles from where we last departed. I hope that you guys have a really good night. That is a true story, and thanks for watching my show. Bye.